Hi there. So this morning I was wondering what my revenue and sales looked like for my part-time handyman business. So, brief history. I've been in the construction industry for, well, I'm 42 now, and I've been doing it in some form since I was a teenager, maybe even smaller than that. But the bulk of my career was as a project manager for a commercial builder. We did a lot of government contracts like schools and city and state buildings and stuff like that. And when I was done with that, I moved on to become a general contractor. And I did that for, I want to say, about 5 years until the work kind of dried up in my local area. And I just found myself sitting on the better part of a year with hardly any work at all. And I got kind of burned out and moved to a different state from where I was at, and kind of took a break from contracting for a couple of years while my daughter was born, and just found myself with, not a lot of time when that happens. So took a break from it for a while, and then I started up again in a new form. This time I just started a handyman business. Ultra on a shoestring, just very low budget. Really didn't spend hardly any money at all to get it started, just a little bit of time. And with my daughter being so young and my wife working as well, my time is very limited, so I work pretty part-time. And so I was curious what my numbers looked like over the last few years. So I started in 2019, and in 2019 I generated 23,253 in revenue. My cost of goods sold, which are my materials basically, my job site materials that go into my projects, 7453 for a gross profit of 15,800. This was my first year, and so I did spend some money on advertising. I spent almost $500, and I spent that on Google Ads. I whipped myself up a website, built it myself, and promoted it with some Google Ads. And I only ran it for about 2 months. I ran an ad in Craigslist for a few times, and I put one ad in my local newspaper. And so that is the extent of the advertising that I did. And then I had to rebuild my tools and supplies, because after my general contracting business, I sold off a lot of tools and stuff. Wasn't sure I was going to get back into it. And so I had to rebuild my, collection of like drills and saws and paint sprayers and small tools and stuff like that. And so I ended up spending about $3,800 on tools. And let's see, I actually need to throw that guy in there as well. There we go. So I have my advertising, my tools, and I piped all my calls to my personal cell phone and just went as minimalist as possible on expenses. Nothing bought on credit, everything bought from cash generated from the business. And so there are some other expenses, bookkeeping, accounting, stuff like that. But overall, my profit for the year was around 11.5 for year number one, working very part-time. I mean, I'd say 4 to 8 hours a week, like some weeks, not even all the weeks. Okay, and then 2020, 38.7 in revenue, 95-ish in materials, gross profit of 29,163, Spent some. So this money, $59. That was Christmas cards. That's it. That's all I spent in 2020. It was $59 on um, bulk Christmas cards that I could send out to my former clients. Tools and supplies. Again, still kind of rebuilding tools. Kind of profit for the year, $25,740. So that was 2020. That was COVID year, and that was working pretty part-time. Worked more than I did in 2019, obviously, but still part-time. And then 2021 year to date, this is just where I'm sitting at today. It's April 3rd, so it's like the first quarter. So in the first quarter, I've made about $9,500 in gross profit. Spent a little bit on tools and about $9,200 there. So if that kind of duplicates over the year, gross profit of about $10,000 per quarter, 4 quarters, I'll probably hit like $40,000 this year, maybe 50, because it seems like I'm going to work a little more. My daughter's ready to go into school this fall, so and we've got, she's in preschool now, and I've got a babysitter and stuff. So I'm actually working a little bit more this year. So I'll probably hit $40,000, $50,000 this year, still working part-time. Not bad for a part-time handyman business. I plan to dust off the tax returns from my old contracting business and kind of do a compare and contrast and see kind of which business model was more profitable for me. I have a definite feeling this business model is much more profitable than the general contracting business. But that's yet to be seen. So hope that was interesting. Have a good day.